Hi, this is Judy with Handcrafted Greetings, and today I'm going to show you how I used this travel notebook die to make these really cute travel notebooks. These are held shut with an elastic and have a little pocket. There's a pocket that comes with the die, and then there's a separate die for the pages. There's this one, and I also made this one with had the really pretty embossed cover, and I'm going to show you how I did that. These are also lined on the inside. I made these with cereal boxes. Actually, I think this was a cat food box. The cardboard's a little heavier, but a cereal box will work as well. So I'm going to show you how I did that. You're going to need to start out by cutting 2 of the covers from a cereal box, and you'll end up with the covers and 2 pockets. This stuff, keep one of these tags, but these you can just throw away. And also cut another set from cardstock, and I used the Limeade Splash, Fun Stamper's Journey Limeade Splash cardstock, and I cut 2. And again, keep one pocket, keep one of these. This is your pen holder. So keep one of those and keep both tags. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that later. Now these I'm going to emboss, and then I'm going to use some Inka Gold on these. This is going to be a little different than the ones that I've done before. I haven't tried this, but I was cleaning the craft room the other day and I found some Inka Gold, and I thought, I haven't used that very much at all, and I thought I would try it on one of these journals. So I'm going to go and emboss these. I'm using the Fun Stamper's Journey Pretty Plaid embossing folder. When doing the embossing, put this in the embossing folder so that the rounded corner, the edge with the rounded corners, lines up with the edge of your embossing folder, and just put it in all the way to the top, just like that. And that's the way that you're going to run it through your embossing machine. Okay, now I have my covers embossed. Before I do the Inka Gold on here, I'm going to go ahead and glue my cardboard cover together, because that will need a little bit of time to dry before I put this on. So to glue this cardboard cover together, you just overlap and line up the holes. So you could probably use Ultra Tape on this. I like to use glue. I use the Fun Stamper's Journey Journey Craft glue. And then line up these holes. And I'm going to burnish that down. Really want to get that's to stick real good. Okay, make sure those are still lined up. Yep. Okay, I'm going to set that aside to dry and do the Inka Gold. So with the Inka Gold, if you've never used it before, this is it's got a water base, so you can, if it's a little dried out, which mine is, you can add some water to it. It does not take very much at all. I just take a little bit out with my spatula. That hopefully will be enough. I'm just going to put it right there. If that's not enough, I'll just get more. And mine is a little dry, so I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. And then just grab a paper towel, your finger, and pick some of that up. Make sure I got the right side on this. Yep, this side. And you just start rubbing that on there. It's okay if you get a little bit on the background. Okay, I think I got it everywhere I want it on. Whoops, I want a little bit more right there. On that one, I'll go ahead and do the other one. I'll speed this up. Okay, I think I have that completely covered. Now, I'm going to let that one dry just a little bit. I'll bring this other one back in, and I'm going to just really polish this, and it'll cause this to really shine. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a real nice shiny finish to it. So I'm going to do the other one. So there I've got the outside of the covers, and this should be dry now. Yep. Now I'm going to take my bone folder, and I just want to score this really good. This is where I'm going to fold it. Whoops. Doesn't matter if you get off just a little bit, as long as you don't fold it there. This is going to all be covered up. I'm going to fold that. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing here on the inside. Now this is actually the outside. You want the printed side out so that you won't have any of your cereal box showing, and this is because this is going to be completely covered. So I'm going to turn this back. This is the inside. I'm going to crease that. Make sure I get it right on the edge. And fold that over, and with your crease tool, just crease that down really good. And then here, I'm going to do the same thing on this seam. There. This one was a little bit easier. So now we've got the base for our journal. Next, I'm going to put the paper on the inside. And for the paper for this, I just went through my stash. I found this paper passport collage pad. I've had this, I don't know, probably 15 years, maybe longer. And it has these nice, just gold, silver papers. And I chose a couple of those to put on the inside. These are just the right size. Yeah, to cover your inside, you want, this is it 4.5? No, it's 4 inches. So, and you want some hanging over. So you want at least 4.5 inches wide. I usually like to go 4 3/4. And then for your, this is 6, so probably 7 inches, 7 inches high. Mine are a little smaller than that, but it'll work. So I'm going to put these on the inside, and you just want to go to that seam. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue down for that. Set it right there against the seam, a little bit hanging up at the top at the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to flip that over. I'm going to trim this off a little bit because I don't need all that. And then I'm going to go kind of across the corner. You want quite a bit hanging off there, but there, like that. And then I'm going to cut some little slits in here because this corner is round, so you're going to want to be able to go around the corner with your paper. So there, I do the corners first. Fold that in, fold, oops, need a little bit more glue. I usually put one more slit on there too. I think this will work though. Fold this in. There, we've got that corner done. And do the same thing with the other corner. There, we've got that corner. And now we're going to fold the sides in. If I'm using heavy paper, I like to take my crease tool and run along the edge here to get a real nice crease. With this paper, it's a lot lighter, so I don't really need to do that. Just make sure you got good glue coverage so that it glues the whole thing down. Use your crease tool to burnish that down. And then make sure to clean the glue off of your crease tool because you might squeeze some out on it. So I'm going to do that. And then do the other side the same way. Okay, now the insides are covered, and now I need to decide which is my, guess I don't need to decide yet which is my front. I think we can use this for the front and this for the back. So now we need to put the outsides on. So for this, for putting the outsides on, I don't glue the spine to the spine. If you do that, you're going to end up with a crack here. So I just glue over to here and I leave this loose, and then I glue these two together. I'll show you how I do that. Now, since I embossed this, it's going to be a tiny bit smaller, not much. I mean, it's just a fraction of an inch smaller than the inside, so that you'll have just a little bit of trim showing. But I want to make sure that I get this on here really good. So again, we're going to do a real good job of covering this with glue. And that's my weird husband making noises. So I'm just going to cover this real good. The reason I'm using this end is that that got the other end clogged. But I like that spreader because it spreads it out real good. So I put the glue on with this end. Normally I would just squeeze it out through the other end. Okay, that should be enough. And this just does a nice job of spreading the glue. And I'm just going to the spine. I'm not going to go beyond that. the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to take my cover and I'm going to line this up as good as I can. And glue it down. And again, I'm going to, we do want to make sure that try to get those holes to match up because we're going to have to go through a lot of layers. So I'm going to burnish this down good. That's why you always want to clean your crease tool because you don't want to be smearing glue on your cover. Okay, there's that side. Now we'll do the other side. And you'll see these are going to overlap just like the other ones did. I'm running out of glue. So this, I've got the covers on now. I just glued those on. I left the spines loose. So now I'm just going to work these around the edge, and I'm not going to glue them onto this part. Work these around, and then when I do that, you'll see the holes are going to line up. And so I'm going to do the other side as well. And then I'm just going to run, now you can see these holes, but they weren't lining up when I had it flat, but they're lining up now. I'm just going to run a thin line of glue along one edge of this, and I'm just gluing these two to each other. Okay. And with it held shut, or like this, I'm just going to glue those together. I'm going to kind of burnish them. But I don't really want to lay it flat when well, let's see. Yeah, maybe I can. There we go. I'll lay it flat, let that. Oops. Ah, I had some silver on there. Okay, so now that's glued together, and ultra tight tape might be a better choice for that. All of this glue, once it dries, it does hold very, very well. So there's that, and I put that seam to the back because this is going to be the front. So there's that. Now the only thing that we have left is to string the elastic through. So you're going to want some elastic cording. I picked this up at Michael's. I think it was like less than $2. It's 5 yards in here. And it takes about a yard. I don't cut it first. I just start stringing. To do this, I like to take because sometimes it's hard to get the cording through those little holes. I take a piece of just dental floss and I use it like a needle. This is waxed, so it's kind of going to stick together and it's a little bit stiff. And I just put the elastic through, and I'm going to put it through the middle hole first. And then I'm going to come over to this hole right next to it. This is going from the inside to the outside, and then we're going from the outside to the inside. And this will make sense in a little bit. And I'm going to want to pull through about a yard. I'm not going to cut this off yet, just because I don't want to waste any elastic. So I'm going to pull through about a yard. I'm going to go down to the bottom, and on the same side I'm going to put this through the hole. Oops. through and come up through the middle. Oops, I came undone. And then now I want to go through the middle again. So this is where it gets a little tricky and where a actual floss threader would work better. Because it's stiffer. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I think I can. We went in through this, up through this hole, down, in, up through this hole, up, in, and then up through this hole. Okay, 2 more to go. Last one, I've got way more elastic than I need. This is why I don't cut it first. So now we're going back up through that center hole. Okay, now I'm going to work these back so that I only have about this much. So I need to pull this cording. And now I know where to cut it. So these two, we're just going to tie together. I like to tie it either a little above or a little below that center hole. We don't want these stretched super tight, you just want them laying flat. So square knot. Tie it real tight so it won't come undone. And then trim the ends. I'm going to distribute this tension just a little bit. Get that one a little loose and the other one's a little tight. There. So now your spine elastic is done. Now we just need the loop to hold it shut. So for that, take a piece of elastic, about like that. Tie it in a knot. I think that's probably about right. And I probably want to do the same method with that. Okay, that knot's going to hold that in place. Check the length. I usually tie the knot after I do this, but make sure it's not too tight. That is a little snug. Remember that your journal is going to get fatter as you use it, so you don't want this knot too tight. I'm just going to work that out just a little bit further. Okay, and then I just test it. Yeah, that'll be fine. So now I'm going to trim this off. That's really not going to show. So next I need to put my pen holder on. So you see there's a little loop here for the pen. This first one that I made, I put the pen holder right in the middle, and the problem with doing that is the elastic goes right in the middle, and that it just doesn't, so you want to put it just a little bit higher than center. So, which is what I did with this one. So that loop, that is this. And I just take my crease tool and I fold it out just a little bit there, and then just give it a good pull to help it curl so it doesn't crease too badly. And then just glue that together like that. And now we want to stick it on here. And remember, we want it a little bit higher than half, so I'm going to put this right here. So check the position on that. Oh yeah, that's, whoops. Should let it dry a little bit more. There we go. That looked pretty good. So I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to work on this pocket. And I kept both of the cardboard pockets, because if you just glue this pocket down like this, it's going to be really hard to put anything in there. There's no depth to it. So what I do is I take these and I'm going to cut so there's just a little bit of a border around the edge. So that'll give the pocket a little bit of depth. So you can see with this one I actually embossed too. I don't know if you can see that. It's just got just a little bit of depth to it. Not much. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch or something, but it makes it so you can slide things into it. And to do that, I used the die that I made this with. So this is the Thinlet, so what is this? It's the 19, there's 19 dies in here. It's the pages and pockets that coordinates with this. So I'm going to take this out. And this is how I store my dies, is I just put magnetic strips across and keep them in the original packaging. That way I know where it came from, what it's called. So I'm going to use, this is the die for cutting the big pages. This is a little bit smaller die. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put it right on here. This makes just the perfect size, and it's the perfect size to fit these little note cards into. So I'm going to put that on there. Get that straight, yeah. And I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Okay, I run this through my die cutting machine. Now I've got the this little border, and I'm going to cut one on this one as well. So, easiest way to do that is to, because I want them to line up. So I'm going to line that up, add a piece of tape onto, oops, want to make sure I've got it lined up onto the side. You can only do this on one side. And then flip this up and pull this out. So now I know I've got that lined up pretty close. There. And I'll go cut that. Okay, now I've got 2 of these. And I'm going to want to glue them together. And then I want to glue them to the back of my pocket. Now I glue these so they're brown side up. So if you glue them so that they have the color side up, you might have bits of colors peeking out from behind. If you want to get really, really picky with it, you could probably paint them with the same color paint. You could also just use foam tape and skip this whole part. But then it wouldn't be the right size unless you cut your foam tape down. Wouldn't be the right size for those inserts. Now that's ready to be, got glue on my surface, there we go. That's ready to be glued in. Now we have the cover done. We've got the pocket on the inside. We've got our pen holder. And now you might be wondering what I was going to do with those tags. I'm going to show you that. So here's the cardboard tag and the 2 cardstock tags. I'm going to, because I want this tag to be fairly stiff, I'm going to glue these on either side. But first I'm going to stamp one of them. This is a stamp from the Grace for Today set, which goes with these travel planners. And this says Bless Others Today. So I'm going to stamp that on this little tag. Okay, and I'm going to glue these together. And I want to put just a little hole in this so that I can attach it. So I'm going to get my hole punch for that. Okay, I got my hole punch and I'm using the smallest punch. And I'm just going to punch a hole. Try to eyeball that so it's in the middle. Right there. And does it go all the way through? No, this is pretty thick, so I'm probably going to have to punch it a few times. Okay, it looks like it's going to go through. I'll just finish that off. There. There. That's all the way through. And I made this cute little tassel out of the silver journey thread. It's this. And I'm going to string this, put this tag on here. That. There. And then I think I want to have this so it hangs off of the elastic. I could have it hang off of here too. I think I want it to hang off the elastic. So I'm just going to put that on here and do a quick little knot. This doesn't need to be very long. And then trim the ends. close that. Hopefully I put it on there the right way. There. I think that's kind of cute. Just a little dangly that I put on backwards. There, now it's not. So there. And then next you'll want to make some pages for it. There's a die for that, and that was in the Traveler's Notebook Inserts die set. That's this one. And it's this largest die. And the way that you use this, so you take a piece of paper, you want this to be about 7.5 inches wide and about 6 inches high. Fold it in half, put this die on here, and there's a little line that says fold, put this on the fold line, there's a little arrow, and just put that on there, like, whoops, just so it's, I just kind of butt the paper up against that, and hold it down with a piece of washi tape, and run it through your die cutting machine. And that will give you your page, and it has just a little bit of a V in the top and the bottom, and those will fit just perfectly. And I usually cut about 6 of these to make a booklet. Doesn't fit very well with just one, but they fit just right. If you wanted to just cut them, you could do that. The height, let me double check, I think it's 6 inches. No, it's 5.5 inches. So the height is 5.5 inches. Your width is 7. You could go a little bit wider, not a lot, but maybe a 1/2 inch. So put that on both sides, maybe 8 inches. You wouldn't want to go any wider than that because you'd be sticking out the sides. If you do that, make sure that you cut this little V in the top and the bottom. Otherwise you'll be pulling your elastic. So there's the pages, and the book is done. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear from you if you make your own journals. I think this is really fun. I haven't been doing I've been making books. I just started making these journals just very recently. So this was a lot of fun picking up this die and making these journals. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Also visit my blog at serendipitycards.blogspot.com or my website at handcraftedgreetings.com, and you can just click on the blog link to get to my blog. I will list all the products that I used in this video in my blog. I do get a commission on some of these products, so full disclosure there. If you purchase through my links, I will get a commission. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.